Today, I am so excited to share with you some trash to treasure thrift store makeovers, and I can't wait to get into it. Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer, and this is a little bit of Common Crazy, where I love sharing easy DIYs and budget decor. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen where I hauled these items. I absolutely love thrifting. It's just a fun way where you can repurpose and upcycle things. Shameless plug, if you're not following me on Instagram, you should. It's a little bit of Common Crazy over there, just like it is here. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks and hopefully providing you with some inspiration. So let's get to it. I was so excited to see this vase at the thrift store and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. This bright red just wasn't working for me, but I remembered seeing some really pretty ones from West Elm that had a similar design and knew that I could take this $2.50 vase and turn it into something beautiful that worked for my home decor. So I started off by just removing the stickers and then sanding it to smooth off any of the rough areas first, because I knew that those would show up once it was painted. But after I got it smooth, I did go in and do a light sanding all the way around just to give it a little bit more grit and take off the shiny coating. I cleaned up any of my dusty residue that I had left over, and now it's time to go in and paint it. To start off with, I'm going in with Waverly's chalk paint in white. It's a beautiful bright white, and I painted the top half of this in 2 coats of it. So I painted the first coat, let it dry, and then I went in with a second coat. For the bottom half, I'm going in with Artesa's Terracotta. It's a beautiful, beautiful color, but if you don't have this, you could get a really similar color by combining Waverly's chalk paint in pumpkin and truffle in order to come up with a terracotta color. I first went ahead and I painted a base coat of this color on. After I had that base coat on, it completely dried. I then went ahead and taped around to get a really good line. In order to help me not have bleed through, I went ahead and added a little bit of Mod Podge around that washi tape. Let that get tacky, not completely dry, just tacky, and then I went in with a second coat of the terracotta. Right away, I went ahead and I peeled that tape off because I did not want that tape to dry onto the vase. That would mess everything up. Now, I still ended up with a tiny bit of bleed through. I'm sure that was user error, but all I had to do was go in with just a really detailed brush and a little bit of that Waverly chalk paint in white, clean that up, and this is done. It's absolutely beautiful and stunning. And again, I only paid $2.50 for it and easily would have paid $30+ had I got this in store. I found this glass vase for only I'm not fancy. It's a vase. I found it for 99 cents. I always get my thrifted items when they are 50% off. I find that is the best deal if I'm able to find them for that. Now, it did have a little bit of a rough edge, so I'm going in with a fine grit sandpaper and sanding that down just to make sure that it is smooth. I really like the shape of it, so I still found that it was worth my time and my effort. Once I had it smoothed, I went ahead and wiped it down with some alcohol just to make sure it was clean of any oils or anything, just to really give the paint the best chance for adherence. After that, I took it out to my spray tent and I'm using Rust-Oleum's Ultra Matte White and giving it a good coat of that. It took a couple coats to cover the entire thing. Once that was dried, now I'm going in with my painter's tape and just some clear contact paper. I picked this up at Dollar Tree and I'm wrapping that around to protect it in order to seal off the areas I don't want painted. Once I have that sealed and protected, now I'm going in with this beautiful vintage blush from Rust-Oleum and painting just the bottom half of this and getting that two-tone look. I absolutely love blush. It's such a pretty pop of pink, but it's still a neutral. I just think it's a really way to incorporate a spring color, but still keep it in those like soft, neutral, earthy tones. Once that dried, this little vase is all done and I absolutely love it. It's really pretty, it's soft, it's delicate, but it can work all year long. So I found this cute little candle holder. I loved the pitting on it and it only cost me $1, but I have so much silver already in my home and I wanted to make this actually just a warmer tone. So I'm using Rust-Oleum's, this is metallic gold. It's a beautiful gold. It's my favorite gold spray paint. I took it out to my spray tent. I gave it a good coat of that. And super quick, inexpensively, I have a beautiful gold trinket holder, candle holder. I absolutely love this. So simple and easy to do.
I absolutely love this brass candle holder, but it's a little bit more dirty and patinaed than even I like, and I like a little bit of patina, so I wanted to get it all cleaned up, and let me show you how I'm going to clean this up. So to start off with, I do want to go ahead and remove the little bottom on it because that is a material and it will get ruined in this process. So I pop that right off, and then I'm sticking this in a pot of water. This is equal amounts of vinegar and water, and I'm bringing that up to a boil, and I boil it for 20 minutes. After it's boiled for 20 minutes, I'm going in with Barkeeper's Friend. You can pick this up anywhere, Home Depot, even like Walmart carries it. I'm creating a paste by mixing a little bit of the Barkeeper's Friend with some water. Now, if you don't want to do this, it does come in like a cream as well as in like a spray bottle form. So you could get those forms instead. I just always have the powder form on hand. Then I'm just using a toothbrush and I'm going around and I'm scrubbing the candle holder itself. And you can see there is so much gunk coming off. The 20 minutes of boiling it in the vinegar really loosened that up, and now going in with the Barkeeper's Friend is really getting that off, and it's fantastic how much of this is coming clean. It is gross but fantastic. So once I do that, I go ahead and I wipe it off and rinse it off, and as you can see, there are still a few spots left on it, but it's shiny and looking really good. But get to those final spots off, I am going in now with a steel wool pad, and I'm just taking that and kind of I'm sanding, but it's very fine. This is like the finest sanding and buffing those little spots right out, and it does a beautiful job. And this now looks as good as new. For the bottom, I wanted to put black instead of that dingy green that was in it. So I had some black felt that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I just traced around it and then cut that out, and I just adhered it right to the original backing by using some spray adhesive in order to do that. And then I pushed that straight into the bottom of the brass candle holder. I did not use any adhesive to hold it there. It was a snug enough fit that I didn't have to. That was it. This looks as good as new. I love how it turned out. This would work for any hardware that you are looking to clean up. I absolutely love both of these candles, and I knew by painting them the same color I could make them a matching pair. So the larger one I paid $3 for, and the smaller one was $2.50 because I got them 50% off. That is my favorite way to shop when I'm thrift shopping, is to go on 50% off day. So I removed the stickers, and now the larger one had a minor area that needed to be repaired. It had a little gap where some of the wood had cracked. So I'm going in with some wood filler and adding that into that little cracked area. It starts off pink, and when it dries, it's more of a white tone. So once it dried, I did go in and sand that to make it smooth. After that, it was time to paint these, and I'm using Waverly's chalk paint in white to paint both of these. Now the brush that I'm using is from Zibra, and it is a rounded brush, and this is a fantastic brush to use anytime you're painting something that is in a shape like this. Whether it's a candlestick, spindles on stairs, chairs, things like that, it makes it a really easy job. I did go in with 3 coats because I really wanted to have a really good full coverage, and I chose not to distress these. I love how these turned out. Even though they are not matchy-matchy, they make a perfect pair. And I can't believe I got beautiful candle holders for only $5.50. I always have my eye out for good frames, and I actually did not find this at a thrift store. I found it at Walmart. It was 75% off. I love the frame, but I'm not a big fan of a horse for decorating at Christmas time. And the store clerk was surprised that it was on sale. Apparently Pioneer Woman never goes on sale, but I was happy to find it on sale. The beaded frame I thought was really beautiful. I knew that I was never going to hang it by the beads that were on top. So I went ahead and I pushed the little horse part just right out, just using my fingers and thumbs. I just pushed and popped that right out. And then I cleaned up the back. There were some brad nails in there. I used my pliers. I popped those right out. They came out super easy. And then just a paint scraper to clean up around it. And then I just cut the beads right off. I just think frames add such a great layering piece, and this one just really had great texture and bones. I love it. It's just a really good piece and such a great price. So keep your eye out for some really good frames, whether on clearance or in a thrift store. I absolutely could not let these beads go to waste. I love beaded garland. It just makes a really great and easy decor piece. So grabbing these beads, I ordered them off of Amazon. They come with 16 and 20 millimeter beads. I'm using the 20 millimeter. I grabbed 15 of those and some twine. Now the twine, I went ahead and I doubled up, and then I took some washi tape to the end so that I could thread that through, and it would make a nice needle point for me to easily push it through the holes of the beads. And I just alternated the colors, starting with a natural bead and then a white bead. There were 14 white beads and then again 15 of the 20 millimeters. I threaded all of the beads on, and then I went ahead and it was time for me to create my tassel. So to create the tassel, I wrapped the twine around my hand 30 times altogether, and then I slid that off and I cut the bottom and threaded that through the loop of the one side, took another piece of twine, wrapped that around a few times and tied that off into a knot, and then I could trim that edge as short as I wanted to make it nice and even. Once I had that nice and secure on one end, it was time for me to create the tassel on the other end, and I did the same thing. I wrapped it around my hand 30 times. And this time I really made sure that I got that exactly where I wanted it to be, and then I tied it into a knot so that it was nice and tight on my garland, and then I cut off the extra part of the garland that no longer needed to be there and made it part of the tassel. And then I wrapped an extra piece around the top of that tassel and then trimmed off that tassel to make it the same length as the other side. And this little garland decor piece is done. I absolutely love it. It was easy, and I love that I was able to get 2 different pieces using one item that I found on clearance.
If you're looking for more inspiration, make sure you check out these videos. I hope you feel inspired to get thrifting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.